Maybe some of you didn't know anything about HMAX, so I'm here to guide you to tell you about what is HMAX because I think most of our customers also mostly familiar only with the UAP models. They use that a lot, and now we're going to talk about another line of product from Ubiquiti, which is HMAC. Okay, so uh, if you all know from if you look at Ubiquiti website, so you will see there is a line of product called HMAX. Okay, let me just open the website quick. So under product here, okay, okay, so you have several line of product, but for today it's about this one, HMAC. Okay, so you might be wondering what is HMAC, what are the line of product inside these models. Okay, so today we're going to explore that. Okay, okay, so for those who didn't know, HMAC is a line of product for Ubiquiti where it only focus on the routing and switching. Okay, so you don't get confused with the UAP line of product. Okay, where this line of product it provide a wireless model and also yes routing and switching. So you might be wondering which model you should use for routing and switching because under UAP model also they have routing and switching, but also under HMAC also they are providing routing and switching also. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. All right. So the HMAC is their product range, alright. It is for your wired networking solution. So purposely built for wired networking. So it will not have wireless model for this one. So like I said, only have router and switches. Okay, so uh, the hardware will include for routing is the edge router. So all those ER model you see is all under HMAC and switching is under edge switch model. Okay, so they will use their own OS operating system. So they call it as HOS. Right. So same like any other routers, it has web interface, so easy and user friendly and yeah, easy to configure. Okay, so you can do routing, you can do security and some management features, all right, to run your network. Okay, and also they have the CLI mode for you for advanced network engineer to do advanced configuration. Okay, so you can either choose to use from the web GUI or from the CLI. Okay, so this is the operating system for HMAC. Okay, so what features you have in the operating system? So if you're using HMAC, especially if you're using the H router, all right, so you can do static route. All right, so it support OSPF, RFP, and BGP. All right, the standard firewall policy. All right, net rules, port forwarding. You want to do port forwarding. You want to do VPN, yes, they have VPN with IPsec. Okay, you can do that. So it's kind of normal router. So also you can do DHCP server. You can do PPOE server. All right, you want to do QoS, you have quality of service, you can do QoS and some administrative tools for you to use. Okay, so this is what you have. But if you are comparing to MicroTik, MicroTik will have a lot more features in it. So, but in terms of configuration wise, um, using Edge router it will be much easier and user friendly to configure compared to MicroTik. Where if you're using MicroTik, you need to put a lot. You need to have a lot of knowledge in putting the rules, the firewall rules to configure the MicroTik instead. But edge router, the web GUI is much more simpler than MicroTik. All right, but performance wise, in terms of hardware, each router will have a better performance. MicroTik still you can go for higher performance if you're using higher model like CCR model. Okay, but in terms of features, MicroTik will have more features than each router. All right. So which model you should use? Because if you are looking at the website, you can see there are a lot of edge router model. Okay, so all comes with the same features using the same OS, HOS, but the differences is on the hardware spec. All right, like how many ports. Okay, if you want XFP port, if you want PoE out, if you want the router with the switching chip. Okay, so only on the hardware spec that will differ you on what model you need to use for the edge router. So depending on the performance also, okay, you want a high performance, so you go for the higher model, so things like that. Okay, so don't worry about the features. The features are all there and no need licensing. As you know, Ubiquiti don't have any licensing. Okay, so you can just choose the correct product. Okay, so I have here some summarization of which model to use. So like I said, it's running on the same OS, but only differ in the hardware feature. Okay. All right. Most common is the port number, using the switch chip, built-in switch chip, and ability to PoE out. All right. Other than that, SFP, and then the CPU core count, and then the RAM, so things like that. All right. So you take note on what kind of deployment you want to use, and then you can refer on the hardware spec and which model to use. Okay. So this is the example. If you want to maximize the performance, then you go for this model because this model will be having higher performance in terms of the CPU and the RAM. Okay, so these are the model for maximum performance. Okay, so this one I just take from the web, from Ubiquiti guide. Right, so I let you know so that this is what they suggest to us to use if you want to maximize your performance. All right. If you need fiber throughput SFP plus port, so you go for ER8XT. Okay, all right. You need just SFP port, so you can select this range of model for SFP port. Okay, all right. Maybe you got one or two port for that. Some of it got one port, some of it got two ports. Okay, like this model have two SFP port. Okay, H router 12. Okay, so depending on what you need. Okay, then next one, if you want to have switch chip. Okay, because sometimes you do bridging on the, you want to do switching on the edge router. All right, so if you use the built-in switch chip, the performance will be faster. But if you're using non-switch chip model, you can still do bridging, but it will consume your CPU resources. Okay, so this one is for you to do switching. Okay, so you can select the model with Swiss built-in Swiss chip. Okay, all right. This one is for rack mountable. Okay, because some of the models desktop mount like this smaller router X, SFP. This one is only desktop mount. Okay, like this one Infinity is rack mount. Okay. Okay, and then some of them are mountable with the universal rack mount kit. Right. All right, you want the outdoor version of edge router, then you go for edge point. All right, see this one is for outdoor. If you're doing, for example, point to point with the MX model, all right, you want a router also installed outdoor, so you can use edge point. Okay, so this one is for outdoor. All right, okay. You need PoE out. Okay, some of the model have PoE out. Okay, so these are the model for PoE out. Okay, but I don't think some it will not apply to all ports. Some of the model only have several ports for PoE out, PoE pass through. So you need to check, or else you don't use the router for PoE out, then you use the switch for PoE out. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So this is the explanation if you're using a switch chip. All right. So if you plan to use the router for switching, all right, then you should go for the built-in switch chip so that it will not consume your resources. So your router can perform better because if you don't use a router with a built-in switch chip, you still able to do switching. You call it as bridging, but that one is the software switching, so it will consume the performance of your router. Okay, right? Alright, so other, yeah, if you don't use a switch chip, alright, so it will affect the performance. Alright, okay, okay. Right. That's what this one is the standard power they're using. Okay. Okay. So I think that's about HMAC features. I mean the edge router features on the hardware. So let's just go through how you go into the edge router. Okay. So very easy. All right. If you just purchase a new edge router, so your initial setup you should connect to port ETH0, right? You set your machine with static IP 192.168.1 .0 segment, okay, and then you open a browser and type in 1.1 because this is the default IP of the edge router. So I have here one, I connect one edge router. I have edge router 4 with me now. So I connect at ETH0. So I set my laptop IP on it and then I try to ping 1.1. So I get reply. So I can go into my edge router. Alright. So the default user ID will be NP, password will be NP. So you log in. Okay, this is the interface of your edge router. Okay, so you can go through the wizard. Okay, easier setup, simple setup. You want to set up the internet connection and the LAN connection, so you just can use this basic setup, or you can just skip this one. You can configure manually. All right, if you want to go back to the wizard, you just click here. You can go back to the wizard. If you want to set up basic setup, you just set up here. All right. Right. Also, they have wizard. If you want to do load balancing, yes, you can do load balancing. Right. Like I said, it's much more simpler than Macotic. You just select the interface. If you're using PPOE, you key in the PPOE and then just add in. All right. While if you're using MyCotic, you need to do some angle rules, some routing. You need to be done. Okay, so this one is much more simpler. Okay, so we go back here to the dashboard. Okay, so you can see this is the overall reporting of your edge router. So you can see the performance of each interface. All right, the TX and RX. Okay, ports used. Okay, you have this green color means connected with connection of 1 gig, correct? Speed 1 gig, so it's green. If it is orange, means it's 100 Mbps. Okay, so now and then I have yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then I have the console port there. Okay, the CPU usage, the RAM usage, and the uptime. Okay, and this is the overall. So this is the dashboard of your edge router. Let me go back to the slide. Okay. Yeah, you can run the basic setup. Let us just go through the basic setup. Okay, so I go to wizard. I go to basic setup. Okay, let's say I want to enable a normal internet connection. So maybe I have a main router. So I want to connect to the internet coming into port number 0, for example. So if DHCP, you just enable DHCP client, or you can put static IP, just for example. All right. I don't have the connection. I just show you how it's done. Let's say I want to set a dot two. Okay. So the subnet. Okay, example, so my main router for internet, I need to put the gateway, okay, then I can put the DNS, okay, for example, I put open DNS, okay, right? Or if you don't want to use static, if you want to do dial in, yes, it can be done. You can dial into TM or Maxis fiber using TPOE. So you key in the account name and the password. If the POE needs a VLAN, so you enable VLAN ID, all right? Like TM using 500, VLAN 500, okay? So if you want to use DHCP version IPv6, you just enable V6, okay? All right. So if you want to bridge, like I said, if you don't want, they doesn't have the switching, you can bridge LAN. So it will combine all LAN into one bridge. Okay, so you can bridge LAN. All right. Then you can set the LAN connection. All right. So you want to set LAN port, your LAN network. All right. If you want to enable the DHCP, okay, so we automatically assign, and then this one is just administrator. You can create another admin. So you can create an admin. Okay. So this is the basic setup of your edge router. So by doing this, you will be having the internet connection for your edge router, and also you will be having your LAN connection for your user. Okay, with or without the DHCP. Okay, so pretty simple. Like I said, it's very simple compared to using MikroTik. Okay, all right. This is the basic setup. Okay, so yeah, we can use VLAN. Okay, like firewall. They had a default firewall. You can enable default firewall. Okay, all right. So other basic setup that you need to take note, upgrading firmware. So you see here down here is the tool for administration. All right. So you click here. Okay. So you can put some administration tool. You put a name to your router. Okay. You want to enable SSH or disable telnet. All right. SNMP enable also. You can use UNMS. For those who didn't know about UNMS, you can point your HMAX product to UNMS for remote monitoring. Okay, so you can enable that one. So this is my NMS. Okay, sorry, I have my NMS. In your HMAX product into the NMS, you can monitor your HMAX devices. Okay. Remember the password. So UNMS is like a monitoring tool for you to monitor and manage your Ubiquiti devices, but not all Ubiquiti devices supported. All right, for HMAX, yes, it can support monitoring for HMAX, so you can monitor your HMAX, right? Your switches, your routers. So for example, this one 8 switch, so you can monitor up and down the report. So this is what is UNMS. Okay, this is where you upgrade your firmware. All right, so you need to download from the website. Okay, you select, you check for your model, you go to HMAX, then you select your model. Like my model is H router 4. Okay, so I go to H router 4, then I select the latest model. Okay, so the latest firmware is 1.10.11. Right, so currently I'm on 1.10.7. Okay, so this is where you upload. This is where you reset. This is where you upload the config. All right, or download the backup config. Okay, so this is just the tools, administrative tool for you. Okay, then let us go back to what you have here in the edge router. Okay, so you have here the dashboard and then the traffic analysis. All right, so this one is the reporting part of your edge router. You check for the TX UpX of your user, of the total interface. So this here. Okay, you want to do some routing, you can do RIP and OSPF, and then you can add some static route. We want to add some static route, so you can do static route. Okay, then yeah, you can do OSPF. Okay, so this is the routing part. You can do also port forwarding. All right, if you want to do port forwarding, so simple as like this. You put original port, the protocol needed, and then you forward to the DDNS or the public IP, all right, and then the description. So very simple compared to using MikroTik. So this is you if you want to do port forwarding, you want to do some firewall policy, you want to block some connection, so you have this action drop, reject, and accept. Okay, right. So you create that one and then do you put the rule set inside that one, okay? Or you can do also grouping for firewall and net, okay? So this one is the firewall part, okay? And then you have services, you want to do DHCP server, all right? So you can create DHCP server here, okay? VPN, all right? You can do PPTP, all right? Or you can do PPTP with IPsec, okay? You have that one also. All right, bandwidth management, QoS. You want to queue the interface, all right, incoming and outgoing. How much speed for incoming and outgoing for individual interface? So you can do that also, okay. Or you can have advanced queue also. You want to specify for network segment, okay. All right, so you can do that, okay. User is for admin, all right. You want to add admin user, then you can have a different role. Okay, right? Okay. So this one is the remote user. Okay, and then this one is the total complete configuration. If you have the configuration, you can view here on the config tree. Right, and lastly is the wizard. Okay, so basically this is your edge router interface. Like I said, the features uh, much more lesser compared to MikroTik, but in terms of configuration wise, it will be easier to config here rather than using MikroTik. Okay, but less features here. If you want to go for CLI, just can come here for CLI. Okay, for advanced configuration, maybe some of the configuration is not in the web GUI, but you need to use the CLI. Okay, some of it you need to use CLI for advanced user. Okay, so that's edge router. Okay, and just go through. Okay, already device settings. This one is nothing. All right, show you backup and restore configuration just now. All right. Just I want to let you know reset to factory default. So if you see here, you can reset soft reset using the web GUI, all right, which is this one, or you can go for hard reset. So hard reset, if you cannot access the edge router, so you can push the reset button. All right, you push for several seconds until the color, the LED off. Okay, then you take out the reset button. Okay, so this is for hard reset. Okay. Okay, so other than that, yeah, I have this one is how you do. So you press and hold the reset button. All right, so the LED will light up in sequence and ending on the last port. All right, okay. Then you wait until port one lights up again. Then you will release the reset button, and then you go in back to the default IP. Okay, this is how you perform a hardware reset. Okay. Okay, now let us go through. So this one is the routing part, okay, of HMAX, which is H router. So let us go through the H switch part. Okay, so let me just connect to my H switch. I have a H switch here, switch 10X. Okay, and connected. So the default edge switch IP is 1.20. All right, so just ping 1.20. Okay. So while waiting for the device to turn on. Okay, so about 8 switch, so it is a powerful enterprise switch model. So it have the throughput, non-blocking throughput up to 26 gigabit per second. Alright, for 34 model, and for 48 port model up to 70 gigabit per second. So some of the model, yes, you can choose for PoE and non-PoE. Alright, and also some of the model you can choose between SFP or SFP plus port. Okay. Alright, management access you can use same like the edge router. You can use the web GUI or you can use the SSH or 10. Okay. Also, you can it support monitoring on the UNMS. Okay, so you can use NF and UNMS. So yeah, okay. Now my edge switch up. So how you connect to your edge switch? Very simple. You connect to one of the port. Okay, and then same like edge router, you set your IP to the 1.0 segment, and then you go to 1.20 and 2.168.1.20. Okay, okay. So this is your edge switch. Okay, this is the new interface. If you face like the gray interface like this each router, so that one is the legacy interface, but you still can go to the legacy interface, but the new interface slightly better and easier for easy configuration, right? But it's only on the simple configuration. So the default IP it will be entirely username and password it will be infinity, right? Right, so we ask to change. Let me just change my password. Right. Sorry. So I'll change my password. And so, if you're familiar with Switch before, you can see this new interface is very easy and less modules because this one is just for simple configuration. All right, it's like a simple, yeah, simple web GUI. Right, if you want to go for the advanced configuration, you can change. Sure, now cannot. Let me check if you can change to the legacy interface. Uh, I think maybe no more legacy interface. Before this, you can change to legacy interface, but now I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't see the button now to change. For this, the interface is different from the previous one. Okay, let us just go through the features. Okay, so you this is the dashboard. You monitor. All right, the port connection. All right, if you have green LED means it is a 1 gig connection. All right, and then you have the SFP. This one I have two SFP port. Okay, and then this is where you enable PoE. Right, let's say you want to enable PoE on PoE number one. So you just edit. Okay, in here configure. All right, I know not this one. Sorry. You just click here. Okay, you can check. You can just set for PoE. Okay, sorry, this one is PoE in. Okay, this one. Okay. Where should I? Sorry, my model doesn't. This model, I don't think this model has PoE. Doesn't have PoE, so I cannot turn on the PoE. Okay, so if the model has PoE, you can just select the PoE mode. You can change the mode to auto or passive 24. Okay, so this is the dashboard. So I'm connected to port number 8. So I can see the traffic here. Alright, I'm going to the traffic here. Okay, if you want to do VLAN trunking, so it's here. So they have this simple wizard here where you can add in VLAN ID, for example, add in VLAN 20. So I can tag and untag. Okay, all right. So just a simple setup like this, so easier for you to do VLAN trunking. Okay, tag and untag. Okay, all right. So this is the VLAN trunking. Setting. Yeah, I just decided. Okay. Okay, so I think you have that you can enable UNMS. Okay, all right. You can change the IP. Okay, all right. So you can enable SMTP. So spanning tree protocol. You can do backup here, backup restore, and then upgrade the firmware here. So very simple on the edge switch. Uh, for normal user, but if you want to go for advanced features, you can SSH into it and do advanced configuration on the CLI. Okay, you can do more actually with the 8 switch, but because I think they remove the legacy interface, so other than that you need to do by CLI. So by default, a simple setup, you want to do VLAN trunking and enable PoE, disable PoE, so it can be done on the web. Other than that, you should go for the CLI. Okay. All right. Yep. That's how you can use the edge switch. The same thing if you want to reset. The soft reset is there. All right. You can go to soft reset. Okay. Like this one, soft reset. Sorry. I think this one is soft reset. Where is soft reset? Check for the soft reset. They don't have soft reset. Oh yeah, don't have soft reset here. So only hard reset. You just can do hard reset the same thing like the edge router. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I want to introduce you on the HMAC model, the switching and the routing part. So if you're wondering, should you go for HMAC or should you go for the UAP model? I would say it depends on your setup. If you want everything under one single controller. So on the routing and switching part, you can go for the UAP model. Okay. But if you don't care about the controller, so you can use HMAC for the wired networking, all right, for the routers and switches, and then the wireless you go for the UAP model, okay? Because everything under the UAP model can be controlled by a single controller. So that's why some people they don't use the HMAC, so they just use the UAP model so that they can manage everything in a single controller. But HMAC, it doesn't have a controller. Okay, it is standalone. Only that they have the UNMS for monitoring, only for monitoring and I think some features like upgrading and upgrade firmware and device reboot. Okay, but you cannot, for now you cannot configure uh, devices under UNMS for remotely. You cannot, but I think they soon they're going to put the firmware where you can remotely configure your Ubiquiti devices from the UNMS. Okay, but for now the UN you cannot monitor UAP model under UNMS. No, cannot. Okay, only for HMAX, some MX, and then the air fiber model. Okay. I think that's